A new AEW signing has been revealed. This time, a former WWE superstar is coming to AEW, and I am super excited about this one in particular. Also, in addition to that, today is February 23rd. It has been reported that a top free agent is currently backstage at AEW Dynamite, so we are going to talk about that. And then, of course, we got to talk about a NXT 2.0 superstar being called up to the main roster. Lots of cool things happening in wrestling. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about Tommaso Ciampa, because there has been a whole bunch of hints, a whole bunch of ideas for him to go to the main roster. And now there is this beautiful thing where WWE is actually treating Tommaso Ciampa like a big deal. They have kind of placed him in a good storyline for NXT to move up to the main roster. And it's kind of like a transitional storyline, which I think works really well for WWE. I'm not going to lie, it does scare me. Definitely, just to see that Tommaso Ciampa could actually go to the main roster and then get buried. But I will say, so far, what they've shown us with Tommaso Ciampa, I don't know if it's that big of a concern just yet. So nonetheless, Tommaso Ciampa is rumored to go to the main roster, and then now Ciampa is teasing this on social media and interviews and everything like that. I promised myself I wouldn't talk riding high from emotions. Sometimes I lose myself a little, but damn it, if having my neck getting beat to hell by Dolph Ziggler tonight didn't remind me of my life, what I've been through to stand in this ring, and what it means to be part of NXT and hear you people chanting NXT with all the damn passion you have in existence. I tell you this from the bottom of my soul. I love you. I love this place. I thank you. Together forever, we are NXT. And Ciampa always said he wasn't going to go to the main roster, so I don't know what the hell is going to happen, but this will be very interesting to see what happens. Guys, now it's time to get to the really, really fun, awesome news. Jonathan Gresham, the ROH World Champion, is reportedly backstage for Dynamite tonight. There is rumors that AEW is getting ready to work and send talent to ROH, also to Impact in New Japan. Tony Khan has also admitted that he is opening the forbidden door both ways. Now, Jonathan Gresham is reportedly scheduled to be at tonight's Dynamite. This came from Fightful Select. Now, keep in mind, he is continuing to represent ROH. He already confirmed that he himself has to get permission from ROH to actually defend that belt, which obviously makes sense because they returned from their hiatus on WrestleMania weekend. Now, with that being said, I don't know if John Gresham will actually be used for Dynamite tonight. My prediction is that they're going to actually set something up for him to defend the ROH World Championship on Rampage, which would actually make a lot of sense. And look, I understand that it takes up TV time from other people, but AEW has clearly shown us that their strategy is to provide entertainment within its wrestling program. And I honestly like John Gresham, and any opportunity where he gets to showcase his skills and, of course, showcase that ROH World Championship, if it is on AEW television, I could literally not be mad at that. I also like what he did on Impact with Steve Macklin, and, of course, what he did with Chris Sabin. So there has been a lot of cool stuff that Impact and ROH and AEW have been doing, but we haven't seen AEW bring John Gresham to AEW. So now that Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that he is actually backstage, I'm actually excited about that. I think that is something that is very special for ROH, but most importantly, I think if they book the correct match, this could be a banger of a match. So John Gresham making his AEW debut very soon would be pretty awesome. Might I also add, keep in mind, for those who don't know, John Gresham does have a wrestling promotion called Terminus. I've covered it a couple times on this channel. I've been very happy with what they've done so far. We have seen AEW talent on Terminus. So there is this possibility, especially we got Santana from Proud and Powerful. He is trying to challenge for the World Championship against John Gresham. Perhaps AEW might use this as a way to build some excitement. Because again, I think all of these companies coming together and then challenging and rivaling WWE, it makes a lot of sense. So if you guys aren't familiar with Terminus, there are current ties between AEW and Terminus as it exists. And that is something to definitely keep in mind, whether or not John Gresham does or does not actually show up on Dynamite tonight. So food for thought. My prediction is that he's going to be on Rampage. Makes a lot of sense. Now, who would he compete against? I mean, if I'm AEW, there was a lot of people I want to see against John Gresham, but I think if you have Lee Moriarty challenge for that ROH championship, it could be somewhat pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. Now it is time to get to some major news. Again, coming out of Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp reported that Isaiah Swerve Scott, aka Shane Strickland, is signing with AEW. We finally got confirmation on this. Now there has been a lot of rumors about this for a while, but nothing was pen to paper. So also keep in mind, we had been talking about this where Swerve was very interested in going to AEW as well. Now Fightful has added details. Fightful mentions that many in AEW have been operating as if Strickland was coming in and the deal would take effect in the first week of March. People in AEW reportedly inquired about him very early after he was let go by WWE, which obviously makes sense. There is also talk within AEW that Strickland become a crossover star, and there has been talk about doing work on Warner Media shows. Since his release from WWE, Strickland has been booked for dates in GCW, independent companies, NJPW as well, and we also saw him on Defy, which kind of set up something with Darby Allin. Look, Swerve is one of my favorite talents to come out of NXT because I was very familiar with Shane Strickland before he went to NXT. And the number one question I think a lot of wrestling fans have is, what will these indie wrestlers look like and how will they appear when they are on a nationally televised wrestling show? And Swerve not only looked like a damn star, but he looked like the top guy. And look, we could talk about whether or not AEW signing too many people or not. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We can't change anything about it. So if they're going to sign a shit ton of people, it better at least be the superstars that we want to see on their show. And for me personally, I think Swerve is a perfect signing. I really like this signing because I think it's also important to mention, when I talk about AEW signing a lot of people, I want them to sign people that are going to be game changers for their business. And I think there's a difference between somebody like Keith Lee and somebody like Tony Nese. Mind you, Tony Nese is 9-1 in AEW, but most of his matches have taken place on Dark, and there's not really anything memorable about what he's done so far in AEW. So at the end of the day, when I look at Keith Lee, who comes in and gets this immediate push, I think Keith Lee is a good signing, and I think Shane Strickland will also be a good signing. So time will tell if these signings are a lot, if it's a problem or whatnot. But at the end of the day, AEW is sticking to their budget. This is why they bring in guys like Keith Lee and Shane Strickland and not these mega $1 million contracts that are expected from maybe Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt. And we'll have to see how this, the strategy pans out for them. But I like Shane Strickland. I think he is really good. It is going to be very interesting to see what happens with Hit Row. Do they join him? Does AEW have any plans in utilizing them? There was so much potential with Hit Row, man, and I just feel like WWE gave up on it, and it is what it is. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, I bring you the latest in wrestling news. If you guys want more, go ahead and click the links in the description down below. Stay connected. I'll keep you updated along the way. Thanks for watching.